to our Sunday morning gentle, right? Everybody here in the studio is on their back. So if you're watching at home, that's where you're gonna go. Take your few moments here to arrive. Let your focus come to your breath. Don't feel like you have to control your breath just yet, right? A few minutes. And just notice and observe the breath. Like, so you guys can see me. There we go. Let your breath take over. Let it push all your other distractions out. So you can be here, just fully focused on your mat, your practice. Be here, just fully present to your mat, your practice. I want you to feel like you've got that full focus on your breath. You're going to add an element of control to your breath. To start to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. Letting your rest become longer, slower, deeper. So you inhale, you're pulling that breath all the way into your belly. As you exhale, you're pushing it all the way out. Just gonna let us move here just with one breath. One movement. All right. When you're ready to start moving here, just take your knees and hug them into your chest. Let's do a couple lumbar circles at first. Right. That just means you're gonna let your knees go over to the right, push them away from your body, bring them to the left, go back in. Just circle around there a couple times. Letting that spine wake up a little bit. Next time you pull your knees all the way in, just go the opposite direction. Take your knees over to the left, push them away, bring them to the right and back in. Circle around here. Bring your knees all the way back in. As you bring your knees back in here, right, you're going to keep that right knee hugged into your chest. Take your left leg and extend it long. All right, and then we're just going to circle with that right knee, like we just did with both knees, right? You're going to let that knee come in towards your body. Push it away. Bring it to the outside of your body, and then bring it back in. Right, this is what I call stirring the pot. The knee is the spoon. Stirring the pot up on the ceiling. All right, I'm going to stop here and then take that right knee the other direction. So it's going to go outside first, then away from your body, then back in. Do 3 or 4 circles, just like that. And then next time you've got that right knee all the way in, just hug it in one last time. We're going to switch out here. You're going to let that left leg, or right leg, sorry, go all the way long. You're going to let that left knee come into your body. So you're hugging that left knee in tight. And let's start to circle here with the left leg. Take it inside your body first. Push it away. Take it to the outside of your body. Bring it back in. I'm gonna stop here. Now go the other direction. You're gonna take that knee to the outside first, then bring it out, bring it in towards the inside of your body and pull it all the way in. Just circle around that way a few times. We'll come to a stop here. Now as we come to a stop here, you're gonna take that right leg, pull it back in. So now you've got both knees hugged in, right? Let your arms go out to a T. Fingers coming straight out of the shoulder blades. We're just gonna take a little twist each way here, right? This is gonna be a whole flow. We go one twist one way each side. Take your knees to the right, take your chin, your gaze to the left. Right, we're not staying here, we're gonna flow. So we pull the knees back up to center, and then we drop them to the left as we look to the right. Pull your knees back up to center. Now you're gonna let your feet come to the mat. Sweep your hands to your sides, palms face down, and then just lift your hips up to the sky. Right? Let your hips come all the way back down, and then take your knees, you're gonna hug them into your chest. Now here we're gonna rock up, right? So bring your hands to the crease of your knees, rock yourself up. As you come all the way up, you're gonna extend your legs all the way long in front of you, right? Then take your hands up to the sky, and you're gonna fold over your legs. So you don't have to grab your toes at first, just go wherever you can, right? This is early in our class. If you're not ready to grab your toes, don't force it, right? And then from there, you just rise up, reach your arms forward, right? And now we're gonna round back down to our back. So we're coming all the way back down. As you come all the way down, hug your knees in again. All right, so we're gonna do that little flow just 2 more times. Move it a little faster here. Let your arms go out to a T. Drop your knees to the right, look to the left. Pull your knees back up, drop them to the left, look to the right. Pull your knees back up here, drop your feet to the floor, sweep your hands to your sides, lift your hips up to the sky. Let your hips come back down, hug your knees to your chest, hands to the crease of your knees, rock it up to seated, and bring it all the way, legs extended. Sweep your hands up to the sky, fold forward. Rise back up, just letting your hands reach straight out in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest, round it all the way back down to the mat. All right, so let's do that one more time through. You're gonna take your knees, hug them into your chest. Extend your arms out long. Drop your knees to the right, look to the left. Bring your knees back to center. Drop your knees to the left, look to the right. Bring your knees back to center. Drop your feet to the ground. Sweep your hands to the sides. Lift your hips up off the ground. Drop them back down. Take your knees into your chest again. Hands to the crease of the knees. Rock up. Extend your legs long. Sweep your hands up to the sky. Take your fold here. From the fold, we rise up. Hands are reaching straight out in front of you. Tuck your chin to your chest. Roll it all the way back down to the mat. All right, now from here, just let yourself roll to one side or the other and push up. Come through your tabletop, that hands and knees pose. Get your shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. You can take a couple cat-cows here if it feels good. Your spine should be ready, right? But if the cat-cows feel good, do that. If not, maybe just sway your hips back and forth. Just opening up those hips, that spine a little bit more before we start to go through our sun salutations. All right, when you're ready, come back to stillness, just in that regular tabletop. Tuck your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Come into your first down dog of the morning. So your fingers are spread wide like starfish. Pointer finger at the front of the mat. Dropping your head between your shoulder blades, pushing your belly towards your upper thighs. If you want to add some movement here, you can. Bend one knee, then the other. We call that walking the dog. You're going to sway your hips a little bit from side to side. You're just going to stay still. Just check in with your body here. Notice what's going on. Make sure you're doing what your body needs as we go through the rest of our practice. Right here, we're going to bend the knees, look between the thumbs, bring your feet forward, your hands come to forward fold. All right, now, your belly's touching your upper thighs, your head's hanging heavy and long, so bend your knees as much as you need to get your belly to your thighs, shake your head yes and no, right? while you're still in that forward fold, I want you to take your two peace fingers, that's your pointer finger and your middle finger, and just hook them around your big toe. So slide those fingers in between your big toe and your first toe, I don't even know what to call that, second toe, right? So we're here, right? Really let your elbows bend, right? And you're kind of pulling up, you're pulling up on the ball of your toe, pulling yourself all the way down. So we're deeper into that fold, right? And then once you're deep into that fold, you're gonna slide your hands out from under your big toe. Now lift up all 10 toes. See if you can slide your fingertips under your feet so your toes are going towards your wrist. A little gorilla pose here, right? And then from there, as you inhale, you're gonna lift up, look up, so you're pulling against your feet. You're lifting your head so the crown of your head comes towards the front of the room. So it's like a monkey, except you can't get all the way up, right? Because your feet are underneath, your hands are underneath your feet. All right, now from here, slide those hands out, just come flat to the mat. And this time as we inhale, we're gonna take a big reverse swan dive and just come all the way up to standing. So you're reaching your arms up overhead. From here, we're gonna go into our swimmer spiral. So as you exhale, just sweep your right hand back behind you. Take that left arm straight out in front of you. So you're in this open arm twist to the right. Then you're gonna drop your right hand to your right thigh. Take that left hand, reach it up and over. So you're looking over your right shoulder. We call these the swimmer spirals because next we're gonna swim. So it's like you're taking a swim, right? You take a big swim stroke, so your left hand comes back behind you and your right arm reaches in front and you're twisted towards the left wall. Now drop that left hand along your left thigh. You guys can see that's what I'm doing here, right? Reach that right hand up and over your left shoulder. Look over your left shoulder so you're spiraling to the left. We're gonna swim again. We take an extra stroke so that both arms come overhead. Press your palms together here. Take a back bend. Just shift your hips forward. Take your chest and your gaze up. Inhale, come up tall. As you exhale, bend your elbows, pull your thumbs through heart center, and then start to hinge at the hip. Bring it all the way back down to forward fold. All right, we're gonna do that a couple more times. Just moving with our breath this time, all right? So take your peace fingers, hook them over the big toes, and then bend your elbows, pull yourself into the forward fold. Take your hands, slide them underneath your feet, right? So your toes are by your wrist, you're in that gorilla pose, and then you're bending your elbows, lifting your chest as much as you can, lifting the crown of your head towards the front of the room. Let yourself come back down, slide those hands out from under your feet, swan dive it all the way up. Take your right hand, sweep it back, take your left hand, reach it forward. Drop your right hand to your right hip, reach that left hand up and over. Swim it all the way around. Your left hand's back and your right hand's forward. Drop your left hand, reach up and over with your right hand. Swim it all the way around. Your arms are up overhead. Press your palms together. Take a back bend. Hips forward, chest and gaze up. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, hands through heart center, hinge at the hip. Come back down into forward fold. All right, let's do that whole thing one more time. So we hook the big toes. We pull ourselves down a little lower, letting your elbows bend. Then release the toes, slide your whole palm underneath your feet, toes towards the wrists, and then lift up to that halfway position. Come back down, slide your hands out from under your feet, swan dive it all the way up. Take your right hand, sweep it back behind you, take your left hand, reach it forward. Drop your right hand, reach the left hand up and over. Swim it around until you're in that open arm twist to the left, right hand forward, left hand back. Drop your left hand to your left thigh, reach that right hand up and over. Swim it again until your hands are both up overhead. Press your palms together, go into your back bend. Inhale, come up tall. Exhale, pull the thumbs through heart center, hinge at the hip. Bring it all the way back down to forward fold. All right, from forward fold, you're just gonna bend your knees and send your hips back and down. Come up into your chair. Hands can reach forward, hands can be at heart center, hands can be to the sky. All right, and then from here, you're gonna come up, press through the soles of your feet, rise all the way up. Let your hands sweep up, and then bring them to your sides. That's Samsi Tahi. And then sweep your hands back up to the sky, drop back down into chair. Take an inhale here, and then exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat. come to forward fold. All right, so we're gonna do that whole sequence twice more, right? So you start from forward fold, just come up to your chair, bend your knees, send your hips back and down, sweep your arms forward as you lift your chest. From there, you rise up and sweep your hands to your sides, palms facing forward. Sweep your hands back up to the sky and then drop it into chair. Take an inhale here and then exhale, come back to forward fold. All right, one more time with that little sequence, all right? You're gonna bend your knees, send your hips back and down, sweep your arms up, come to chair. Press through the soles of your feet, come all the way up. Sweep your hands to your sides, palms open, Samasthiti He. Sweep your hands back up overhead, drop it back into chair. Take a deep inhale here, and then exhale, straighten your legs, drop your hands to the mat. All right, now from here, just take your hands to the tops of your feet, and you're gonna ragdoll roll yourself up. All right, come to the very top of your mat with both feet. Do this, hopefully I'm doing this right, okay? So for my purposes, this is the top of my mat. Right, because here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna step back with your right foot. Actually, it's better, okay, yes. That way you guys don't have to face me here in the studio. So you're stepping back with your right foot, right? So you're here. So you're kind of right now like in a 5-pointed star stance, but your hands are down, right? So everything's facing over here towards the right wall, all right? Now, you're gonna take your right toes, turn them all the way towards the right wall. Take your left toes, turn them towards the top of your mat, all right? Take your arms out long. So strong T position. Look over your right fingertips. So your right leg is straight, right? We'll bend it later. Right now it's straight. You're reaching towards the mirror as much as you can. You're gonna touch the mirror, right? Then let that right hand come down inside your right thigh. Take that left hand, stack it on top. So we're in triangle pose. Now from triangle, you're gonna pull back up. Take your arms overhead. Turn your left toes towards the right wall. Turn your right toes towards the back of the room. Take your arms out to that strong T again. Look over the middle finger on your right hand. Reach your fingertips towards the back wall here. Like you're gonna touch it when you can't get any closer. Let that right hand come down on the inside of your right leg. Take that left hand, stack it on top. So now we're here in triangle. On the other side. Now pull it back up here, both hands overhead. Turn your left toes back towards the right side of the room. Turn your right toes back towards the right side of the room. So we're here in 5-pointed star. Right now, from here, you're gonna turn your left toes back towards the top of the mat. All right? Take your left hand and drop it to your left hip. Your right hand's gonna stay up to the sky. All right, square your hips towards the top of your mat. All right, so like your hips are headlights shining towards the mirrors. All right, look up at your right fingertips. All right, and then you're gonna dive down. Just let that right hand come down inside your right leg. So we're coming to a revolve triangle, right? So you want that right hand maybe to come all the way down to the mat without bending your right knee. If that doesn't happen, let it come along the inside of your right leg or drop it to a block if you have one. Right, once where you're gonna go, take your left hand and reach it up to the sky. So take it off your head, reach up to the sky. So you should be facing that way. Right hand along the inside of your right thigh, left hand to the sky. Now from here, you're gonna pull up, come back through your 5-pointed star. All right, now we go the other way. So you're gonna take those right toes, turn them towards the back of the room. Take your right hand, drop it to your right hip, left hand stays up to the sky, square your hips towards your left foot, right? So towards the back wall. You're gonna look up at your left fingertips, and then dive down, let your left hand come, maybe to the mat, maybe onto a block, maybe just to the inside of your left thigh, right? You want that left leg to stay straight. And then take your right hand up to the sky. And we'll go triangle here. Now, push away from the mat with your left hand. Come back up, come back through your 5-pointed star. All right, now from here, turn your left toes towards the front of the room. Take your right foot step it up to meet your left. So you're coming to an extended mountain to the top of your mat. Reach those fingertips up high. Right. Bring your palms together. Pull them to heart center. Send them back up to the sky. And then let them come down to your sides. Samsitihi, palms facing forward. All right? You're going to take that step back again with your right foot. So left foot stays at the top of the mat. I want you to step even longer this time, right? It's a little bit wider than you did last time. Step that right foot a little bit further back. Right? Almost like you're taking up your whole mat. Turn your right toes totally towards the right side of the mat. For the moment, take your hands up to the sky. All right, now, left toes go towards the top of the mat. Bend into your left knee. Let your hips still face here towards the right side of the room, right? But bend into that left knee. And then drop your left elbow to your left knee, left thigh. Right hand goes up to the sky. So you're right here, right? Just leaning on your left elbow. If you want to, reach those right fingertips towards the front of the room. All right, now push through that right leg. Come back up through your 5-pointed star. Turn your right toes towards the back of the room. Right, let your hips stay open towards this right wall. Bend into your right knee. Drop your right elbow to your right knee. Left hand can stay up to the sky, or left hand starts to reach towards the back of the room. Push your right leg straight, both hands up to the sky. Turn your right toes here towards the right side of the room. Back in 5-pointed star. Right now, same thing here. You're going to turn those left toes towards the top of the mat. Right? You're going to bend into your left knee. Now here, you're going to turn your hips all the way towards your left leg. So towards the front of the room. Right? Bring your palms together. Pull them to heart center. Look up towards the ceiling, right? Lean back a little bit. And then as you start to bow forward, start to bring that right elbow towards your left knee. So you're taking a little prayer twist to the left. So maybe the right elbow's on the inside of the left knee. Maybe it's on top of the left knee. Maybe you're hooking it all the way over the left knee. Now untwist here. Push your left leg straight. Hands up to the sky. Turn your left toes back towards the right side of the room. All right, let's do that the other direction. So you're going to take your right toes, turn them towards the back of the room, bend into your right knee. Let your hips turn all the way to the back of the room. So your hips are square with your right leg. Bring your palms together, pull them to heart center. Look up. And then start to come forward. As you come forward, you start to twist. You bring your left elbow towards your right knee. Maybe just the inside of your right knee. Maybe your left elbow's on top of your right knee. Maybe it's hooking all the way over. Now let's untwist. Push that right leg straight. Untwist. Turn your right toes back towards the front of the, back towards the right side of the room. Take your hands to the sky. All right, now from here, you turn your left toes back towards the top of your mat. Let your hips turn towards the top of your mat. Step forward with that left foot. Come to extended mountain. So let's start with your right foot. And then drop your hands down to your sides. Sutihi. All right, we'll take the hands back up to the sky. And then you're going to step back again with your right foot. Okay. Come to that 5-pointed star. So step back with your right foot, so you're facing over here towards me.
Towards you.
Yeah, step back with your right foot. All right, so we're here. All right, now from here, you're just going to take your hands, drop your hips, keep both of the toes pointed here towards me. Right? Start to hinge at the hip, lean forward. You're going to come all the way down into a wide-legged forward fold. So lay the crown of your head, come towards the mat. Release your hands here, let them come down, right? And then just like we did in the sun salutation, see if you can hook your 2 peace fingers over your big toe. Right? This time, you're going to bend those elbows and really pull the crown of your head down towards the mat. All right, now let your hands just come to the center of the mat. Give yourself a little half lift here, where you push your shoulders even with your hips. Maybe your fingertips come off the mat here. Maybe they're still on the mat, but you've got your shoulders even with your hips, crown of the head towards the right wall. Now fold back down. Let the crown of your head go towards the ground. And from here, you're going to take your hands, bring them around the back behind you, right? And interlace them behind your back. So you've got your thumbs on your low back right now, crown of your head towards the ground. Start to lift those hands up and off your low back as much as you can. And then you're going to pull your thumbs back down towards your low back. As you do that, you start to rise all the way up. So we come up with our hands interlaced behind us. Once you're all the way up, really pull your shoulder blades together, push your knuckles closer to the floor, push your hips forward, take your chest and your gaze up. Now inhale, come up tall. Release your hands, take them up to the sky, turn your left toes back towards the front of the room. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Back and extend your mountain at the top of your mat. Let your hands come to your sides, feet to heat. Now from here, you're going to step your right foot back one more time, right? This time, I don't want you to step that far back. Just step about 2 feet back with that right foot, right? So it's a shorter stance, right? And then let yourself turn all the way here towards the right wall. And then from there, you're going to take your hands, right? You're going to either just grab opposite elbows behind your back, or if you're around here, so you either just grab opposite elbows, or maybe, right, you can bring your, or maybe you just grab your hands like we just did, right? Or you can come all the way to reverse namaste, where you bring your palms together, letting your pinkies rest on your low back, right? So you decide. Now, from here, you're going to take your left toes again. You're going to turn them to the top of your mat. Let your hips turn towards your left leg. And then just fold forward over that left leg. Try to bring your belly back, or down, I should say, belly down towards your right thigh, nose towards the right knee. So you're in a little pyramid pose here. Hold it a little longer here, 2 more breaths. And then pull it all the way up. Now turn your left toes back towards the right side of your mat. Take your right toes towards the back of your mat, right? Hands are still, whatever position you had them in, angle your hips totally towards the right side of the room, and then fold over that right leg. Take 3 more breaths here. Back up. Turn those right toes back towards the right edge of your mat. Release your hands to your sides. Sweep them up to the sky. Turn your left toes towards the front of the room. Step your right foot forward to meet your left. Right. And then from here, we're just going to swan bend it. Bring it all the way down to your forward fold. All right. So now you're in your forward fold at the top of your mat. You're going to toe heel your feet out wide to the edges of your mat. Turn your heels in and your toes out. And then bend into your knees and drop your hips. Okay, so you're coming down into your Malasana squat. So it looks like this, our Malasana squat. If you have a block and you want to sit down on your block, you can do that. Makes it any better. If it doesn't feel comfortable with or without a block, or you don't have a block, drop it all the way down to your glutes and bring the soles of your feet together. Come to bound ankle. Right, up to you. Be in the full Malasana, you can be in Malasana with a block, or you can be in bound ankle. Let your eyes close. Take a moment here. Just reconnect with your breath. Get that focus on your breath. Get that control of your breath. If you lost those while we were flowing, this is your chance to get it back. Slow your breaths again. Lengthen your breaths again. Deepen your breaths again. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. ready, we're all gonna come down to our glutes. We're gonna land in that hook line position, which means our feet are on the ground, knees towards the front. Knees up to the sky, feet towards the front of the room. All right, so we're gonna do a little core work here, right? We're gonna do it 4 times through. It starts with boat. So you're gonna lift up into boat. It could be just like this, where you're just holding onto your knees, lifting your feet up off the mat. Or we hold boat for 5 breaths each time, right? Maybe you're here, maybe you're grabbing onto your feet, taking your feet up to the sky, right? Just make sure you're not dumping into your low back. You want that tailbone on the ground. You're using core to hold your core to hold yourself up. Take 3 more breaths here. Now, what you're gonna do from here, you're gonna hook your right foot over your left. Take your hands to your sides, right? And you're gonna push your hips up off the mat, right? If you had great core strength, you could keep your feet off the ground and lift your hips up, right? But for most of us, that probably doesn't happen, but you're gonna push up so your hips lift, right? For most of us, me included, my left heel's on the mat, right? You lift it up. All right, now drop down, come back to boat. Okay, another 5 breaths in boat. Your version of boat, whatever it is, right? Could be here. Could be here if you're feeling spry today. Could be here. Could be here. 3 more breaths. Now, hook your left ankle over your right knee. So we're going the other way this time. Take your hands to your sides and then push your hips up off the mat. You don't hold your hips up for 5 breaths, right? Just a breath. Then we drop them back down, but then we come right back into boat. All right, so we gotta do that 2 more times. By the end, everybody's gonna be holding their knees to their feet. I promise, it's okay, right? If you need to do it now, it's okay. I do. 3 more breaths. Now take your right foot, hook it over the left, take your hands to your sides, lean forward and push your hips up off the mat. Drop back down, untwist, 1 more time in boat. Three more breaths. And then release. Now you're going to hook that left heel over the right. Take your hands to your sides. Lift your hips up off the mat 1 more time. And then drop them back down. Now you're just going to extend your legs long in front of you. All right. Take your hands back behind you. Right, it's called staff pose. So you're just going to push into your hands. Like you could lift your hips right off the mat. You're not actually going to, right? But you're here, it feels active, you feel engaged. Right? Somebody peeked in the room at us right now. It wouldn't look like we were doing very much, but you want to feel it, right? You feel that work. You're holding yourself up like this. Take 2 more breaths. And then from here, let your hands come up off the mat. So you got to keep your torso up on your own now, right? Keep your right foot forward. Bend into your left knee. Bring the sole of your left foot against your right inner thigh. All right, from there, take your hands up to the sky and just fold over that right leg, right? Maybe you grab the foot. Maybe your hands land on your ankle or your shin or your knee, but you're draping that upper body over your right leg. All right, now pull it all the way up here. All right, let's switch out our legs. You're gonna take that left leg, kick it long, bend into your right knee, bring the sole of your right foot against your left inner thigh. Take your hands up to the sky and lengthen out first, right? And then fold forward over that left leg. is very Ashtanga inspired class. Ashtanga is a type of yoga, right? If any of you know what that is, I don't want you to tell everybody this was an Ashtanga class because I'm not an Ashtanga teacher and it really wasn't, right? But these are all Ashtanga moves. And in Ashtanga, right, it's really emphasized that you reach to the foot, right? That's why when I do this one, I've taken my right hand and brought it here over to my right leg. Because if I try to reach it forward here, I can't quite make it, right? But they do want you to grab your left foot, right? Which I can't do as well as I can on my right. If you can't grab your foot, then don't grab your foot. Like I say, always on the ankle, the shin, the knee. If you had a strap or a towel or something, right, this would be where you would use it to get to your foot if you needed to. All right, just take one more breath here. And then slowly rise up. All right, now from here, you're going to take your right leg long again. Okay, this time, you're going to bend into your left knee. And then step that left foot over to the outside of the right thigh. If you can't get the right foot over on the ground outside your left thigh, then you're just going to, or the left foot, you're just going to keep that left foot on the inside of the right thigh. But if you can step it over, right? Now, you're going to take your your right hand up to the sky. All right, your left hand's going to come back behind your left hip. All right, and then you're going to start to turn to the left. And then from there, either you bend into your right elbow and let it come to the outside of your left knee, or you hug that right hand around your left knee. Look over your left shoulder. Untwist here, bring it all back around to center. Step that left foot over. Now extend that left leg long. Bend into your right knee. And then you're going to take that right foot, step it over the left. Right, so now we're here. You're going to take your right hand back behind you. Take your left hand, reach it up to the sky. Look up at your left fingertips. Start to turn your torso towards the right. And then you're bending into that left elbow. Now if it can land outside your right knee, and that's where you're going to stay. If you need to, you're just hugging around your right knee and you're looking over your right shoulder. Untwist here. Come back to center. Step that right foot over. Now we're all going to come into bound ankle here. So you're bringing the soles of your feet together and letting your knees fall out to the sides. Right, take your hands to your feet. Sit up nice and tall at first. And then just start to lean forward. As you lean forward, you can keep your hands on your feet, or if you want to, you can walk them past your feet. Right? If you want that turtle here where you let your hands come to the inside, slide them underneath your feet, and then you can go there and tuck your chin to your chest and round down. If you're not in turtle, meaning you don't have your hands to the inside wrapped around your feet from the outside, then don't round out, right? You can be here, or you can be here, keeping that nice flat back, or you can go all the way to turtle and round out. Now slowly peel all the way up. And then you're going to kick your legs out all the way wide. Take your hands to the center of your legs. Walk it out here. Again, you want to keep your back flat here. Just coming out as far as you can. Maybe you can get down to your elbows. Right? Maybe some of you can get your head to the mat. You can use a block to get your head down to a block if you want. Right? But if you don't get down that low, it's okay, right? We're just trying to keep that flat back, just trying to bring the chest as far forward as we can. Maybe all that happened for you was you walked your hands a couple inches in front of your legs. If that's as far as you got, that's okay. You You want to feel that stretch in your inner thighs. As long as you're feeling that, you're doing the pose right. Now when you're ready, start to walk back up. Bring your legs together. Right, now we're going to bend into our knees, put your feet on the ground, and we're going to lay down on our back. All right? All right, now we're going to go through our inversions, right? We're going to add one in today. We're going to add in our fish pose, which we haven't done in a while. So you want to take your hands. You want to make a little W with your hands, right? So you let your hands look like this, right? That's what your hands are going to look like, except they're going to go underneath your back. So I'm lifting up my back so that my thumbs touch. My fingertips are pointed down towards my feet, right? So my low back is laying on my thumbs, right? Now you're pulling your shoulder blades together here, and then you're going to lift your head up. Let your chin tilt to the sky. Look back behind you. Right, so you're basically propped up on your elbows here. Chest is open towards the ceiling. So this is fish pose. Now you can extend your legs long if you want to. Right? You can lift your feet up off the mat. You can butterfly your legs. Lots of different things you can do. Right? But you should be with the back of your head kind of on the ground, chin tilted up to the sky, opening up that whole throat. Call this pose the destroyer of all diseases. The idea was if you did it at least once a day, right, you would never get sick. That's not true, right? Especially in these times. But it can help, right? It's a drainage. It helps drain all the yuck from our sinuses because we don't usually walk around with our head in this position or lie around even, right? But this is the perfect drainage position for our sinuses. So if anything's up in there, this helps it drain out a little bit faster. And it can help keep you from catching certain colds and things. Never a bad thing. Take 2 more breaths here. And then you're slowly going to let yourself come out of it, right? Let your shoulders come back down. Bend back into your knees if you have them long. And then lift your hips so you can slide those hands out from underneath you. All right, so now your hands are at your sides, palms face down. We're just going to come into our basic bridge here. You're going to press into all 4 corners of your feet. Lift your hips up to the sky. Now, if you have a block, you're going to slide the block underneath your hips. Make this a supported bridge. That's an option. Okay? If you want to stay unsupported, use that strength in your legs to push your hips a little higher to increase the flexibility of your back. You want to tuck your shoulders at least slightly, chest puffs open. If you're unsupported and you want to make this really deep, work one entire shoulder than the other underneath your body. Clasp your hands underneath your body. That'll push your hips even higher. When you're ready to come out of this, right, you're just going to let your hips flip back down to the mat if you're in an unsupported bridge. If you're in a supported bridge and you want that block under your hips for waterfall, keep it there. If you don't, take it out. Right? We're all going to come into waterfall. Right? You just take your feet, kick them straight up to the sky. I'm in supported waterfall right now because I still have that block under my hips. Makes it slightly more intense because my hips are elevated. Right? You can be there or you can be just in regular waterfall, hips flat on the ground. Up to you. Get the feet, the blood to go from the feet where it pulls all day back to the head and the heart where we need it more. If you want to take it to full shoulder stand, that's always an option. You let your hips lift up off the mat on your own. Put your hands in the small of your back so you're supporting yourself on your shoulders and your forearms. And so you can be in shoulder stand, you can be in waterfall, you can be in supported waterfall. Let your body decide. In addition to that increased circulation, we're also naturally lowering the blood pressure. We're flooding the body with all those anti-aging, anti-stress hormones. When we're ready to come out of it, whatever version you're in, we're all coming out of it the same way. Bend your knees, let them scrape right along your face and body. Slowly drop your feet back down to the mat. As your feet get back down to the mat, if you still have a block underneath them, right now you're gonna lift up your hips, slide that block out from underneath you. Everybody's hips are flat to the mat. We're gonna come to our happy baby here. So you're gonna take your feet up to the sky. Again, right? Separate your feet, maybe slightly or maybe a lot, that's up to you. Bend your knees, maybe slightly, maybe a lot, that's up to you. Reach up for your same foot with your same hand. If you don't grab the foot, grab the ankle or the shin or the knee. Roll your hips forward slightly so you feel that sacrum, that lower part of your back, press into the mat. And then we're just gonna rock from side to side, giving ourselves a little spinal massage. It should feel good as you do the spinal massage. If it doesn't feel good, you don't have to do it, right? You can stay still. If you want to change your leg position here, make your legs wider or straighter, or bend them more, bring them in more. Do any of that you want to. Just find the place where it feels really delicious to you. Hang out there for another couple breaths. Eventually, we're going to take the knees, hug them all the way into the chest. We're going to take one final twist here. So you're going to let your arms go out long, like wings. In that T position, you're going to let your knees fall to the right, take your chin and your gaze to the left. So we did this twist in our opening flow. We're doing it again here. Right, but this time we get to stay a little longer. So you get to make it a little deeper if you want to. You can always take your right hand, press it against your knees, let your knees go a little closer to the earth. If you have the space, you can extend your legs so that your toes go toward your right fingertips. And you don't have to do any of that. You can stay where you are. But you got to keep that left shoulder anchored. That's what's giving you the twist. All right, now from here, pull your knees back up to center. And then you're going to let it go to the left as you take your chin and your gaze to the right. You can take your left hand here if you want to. Push down on your knees. Or you can extend your legs, toes towards the left fingertips. Or you can stay where you are. Just like before, we just want to keep that right shoulder anchored. We always finish off with this twist. Seals off our practice. Lets our bodies remember everything they did today. So next time we come practice yoga, we're able to go over a little bit easier. You're able to go over a little bit deeper. Pull your knees back center here. Give that one final hug into your chest. And let's set up here for our final pose, our Shavasana. Let your legs extend long. Take your hands to your sides. That's your traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. If that's not comfortable, don't stay there. You can bend your knees, let them fall in against each other. You can butterfly your legs. You can roll to your belly, roll to your side, sit up. Whatever is the most comfortable to you. You want to be somewhere where you are going to be comfortable, where you're going to be able to stay still. Most importantly, you want to be somewhere where your mind is going to be able to go quiet. If you're in the studio here, come around. A little spray for your towel. It's sea salt. If you're at home and you have a towel, put the towel over your eyes. If you don't, just close your eyes. Settle in. Let your breath take you to that quiet mind. Right, you don't have to control your breath here. Releasing it, letting it go, letting it do what it wants to do. Keep that full focus on your breath. Keep noticing your breath. Keep observing your breath. master all of that. Your breath will take you right to a place, guide you right to a place where there's nothing left in your mind but you and your breath. That's always going to be your true quiet of the mind. Slowly start to come back into the room. Wiggle your fingers, your toes, feeling that increased sensation that comes with a quiet mind. If you want to here, you can take your arms overhead, do a nice full deep body stretch. And from there, just roll over onto your right side in a fetal position. Take a couple breaths right there just to reacclimate to our space. Let the sights and the sounds of the room come back to you. Take as long as you need right here. When you're ready, push yourself up to seated, and we will close here. All right, so we're going to close here with 2 Bhamari breaths and then an Om. The Bhamari breath, we inhale, so we exhale, make that little humming sound in the back of the throat. And the Om is the universal syllable, uses all parts of the throat. You can join me in these breaths or you can just listen. But let's close our eyes here. We'll inhale together. Inhaling again. Inhale one final time and Om. Let your eyes drift open. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you, all of you, for sharing your energy, your practice with me this morning. The light in me honors the light in each of you. Namaste. All right, I will see you all again on Wednesday night for some yin. Liza's going to be here tomorrow morning for Payo, and Heidi will be here tomorrow night at 7 if you need more gentle. All right, but otherwise, I will see you all Wednesday. Have a great rest of your weekend.